Lego dude, what the hell are you doing? This trade literally happened a week ago. It's from about a week ago. You are so late in talking about the Vegas Golden Knights trading away Zach Dean for Ivan Barbashev of the St. Louis Blues. And yes, I know, this happened a while ago. We didn't make a video about it back then because there were so many other trades that were going on in the same time span that I kind of had to pick and choose which videos to make because I didn't want to go out there and make a video on every single individual trade that was made because I would have been sitting here all day, talking all day, and not being able to live my own life. But this video here isn't necessarily about the trade itself. But more so, it's about a series of trades that the Vegas Golden Knights have made over the past few years that seem to be following a very consistent pattern. So, this is the trade that went down back on February 26th. So yeah, it's been over 2 weeks now, or no, over 1 week, almost 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half, I can't do math. But the Vegas Golden Knights have acquired forward Ivan Barbashev from the St. Louis Blues in exchange for Zach Dean. Just going over the quick rundown here, Barbashev, he's a guy, he's an expiring free agent to be, he's 27 years old and he's doing pretty alright, with 5 points in 4 Vegas Golden Knights games. That's cool. Roster player going over to Vegas, they do this all the time. But the reason we're making this video is because Zach Dean is the guy who got sent over to the St. Louis Blues from Vegas. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, it's a big deal because Zach Dean is a 20-year-old guy. 6 feet 179 as a center, left-handed guy, signed on his entry-level deal, drafted by the Golden Knights 30th overall in the 2021 NHL Entry Draft. Now, Zach Dean in the QMJHL, he's doing pretty alright. He's over a point per game with the Gatineau Olympiques. He also made the Canadian squad at the World Juniors. But Zach Dean is on here not because Zach Dean is Zach Dean, but because Zach Dean is a first-round talent. Because if you go over to the Vegas Golden Knights and you just kind of acknowledge where all their first-round talent has gone over the years, you kind of have to really sit back and realize, wow, this team is kind of allergic to first-round talent. At least first-round talent that would have been acquired or drafted by themselves. The reason I say this is because if you go over to the 2017 draft, this is the very first draft the Vegas Golden Knights had been a part of. The very first pickup by the Golden Knights was 6th overall, Cody Glass. And a few years after the draft, Cody Glass got traded over to the Nashville Predators. Next up, you have the 13th overall pick in 2017, Nick Suzuki. And all we know from here on out is that Suzuki got traded again. He was sent over to the Montreal Canadiens in the Max Pacioretty deal. There was Tatar thrown in there were a few other things, but Nick Suzuki is now an elite captain for the Montreal Canadiens, and he was a former Vegas Golden Knights guy too. 15th overall saw the Golden Knights take on Erik Brannstrom, and guess what? That guy is also gone. And he is doing pretty interesting things up and down with different systems, so it's interesting to see where Brannstrom's career has gone, but pretty much since the start of Vegas's drafting tenure in the National Hockey League, their first-round talents they have sort of been allergic to. Glass, Suzuki, and Brannstrom all gone from 2017, and that's not even it. If you go over to 2018, there wasn't a Vegas Golden Knights pickup in the 2018 first round, but if you go to 2019, there is indeed one that's a pretty notable name in another organization. 17th overall saw the Golden Knights take Peyton Krebs out of the Winnipeg Ice system in the WHL. And if you're a Buffalo Sabres fan, everybody knows how good Krebs has been this season. It's been a great transition for him since getting acquired by Buffalo in the Jack Eichel-Alex Tuch trade, and that's not even it entirely. If you go over to the 2020 NHL Entry Draft, you could see that Brennan Brisson is over here with the 29th overall spot. He is the only remaining first-round pick that the Vegas Golden Knights have had and drafted themselves, seeing as he is still a member of the organization. It's been a while, but he hasn't been traded yet. He's playing with the Henderson Silver Knights, where he's had a pretty alright season, 26 points, 42 games played after being a point-per-game guy with Michigan. But Brennan Brisson, as a 21-year-old left-wing, right-wing player, first-round guy, he is the one sole remaining first-round draft pick from the Vegas Golden Knights that they ended up drafting themselves. You then have yourselves the 2021 draft, where you see Zach Dean end up getting taken by the Golden Knights 30th overall, and I mean, yeah, he's no longer a Golden Knight, he is a St. Louis Blue, as we had just talked about. If you go over to 2022, you can see that the Vegas Golden Knights did not have themselves a first-round pick in this draft. Let's just go ahead and do the Control F there. Yeah, so the first pick they had, 48th overall, so they didn't have a first-round pick then either. But it's just so intriguing to me when you look at the history and you see amongst all of these guys, Cody Glass, Nick Suzuki, Erik Brannstrom, then you go further down, Peyton Krebs, and now you have Zach Dean as well, all getting sent away. Brendan Brisson is the one guy left. Let's just go over to these other players and see their profiles, see what they've accomplished at the NHL level so far. See, this is why I like doing the Streamlabs videos, because we can just open up the tabs on my computer and I don't have to screenshot a million individual things to place it into the video. But Cody Glass this season is playing for the Nashville Predators. He's got 24 points in 51 games played. It's his first, let's just say, full season in the National Hockey League, and he is doing pretty okay. 34 points in 72 games is the projected pace here, and there's a lot of hope, and a lot of people still looking for more out of Cody Glass since he is only 23 years old. There was a lot of talk about him potentially being a #1 elite two-way center in his prime, but those conversations are now like 6 years old, so we'll just kind of have to wait and see if Cody Glass is able to fulfill that. Nick Suzuki, on the other hand, is already a #1 guy. He is fantastic. 49 points, 63 games played, 63 points is the pace here, so a very similar point production metric to what he had last season, and realistically, I mean, Suzuki's going to get better. Playing with Caulfield, he's going to get better. Playing with Doc, playing with Slafkovsky, he's going to get better. There's so much hope for Nick Suzuki in Montreal, and he's the captain for a reason. Everybody loves him over there. He's done nothing wrong. Meanwhile, Erik Brannstrom with the Ottawa Senators and their system, very up and down career so far. He was with Ottawa, he was with Belleville, he's back in Ottawa, 9 points, 57 games played, definitely not in the same point production territory as he had been able to accomplish when he was an SHL prospect all those years ago. There was a lot of hope for Brannstrom, especially because of his AHL tenure where he was a near point per game guy for multiple seasons. It's just at the NHL level, he was never really able to put it together in the best way possible just yet. Now, he is 23, so there's a lot of time for Brannstrom, but when it comes to deployment, when it comes to how the Senators are using this guy, there are a lot of up and down questions as to whether or not he's really being set up for the best position to succeed. But still, he's another first-round guy that the Vegas Golden Knights had that they ended up trading away. And he was the third one in 2017. Next up, 2019, though, Peyton Krebs. He's doing pretty alright with the Buffalo Sabres right now. 19 points, 54 games played. He's on pace for 26 points. But we all kind of know what he was able to accomplish last year, 22 points in 48 games played. And obviously, the point-per-game metric stands out in the AHL. Krebs is a workhorse. Krebs is a very talented playmaker, and he's only 22 years old, breaking into his first NHL season full-time, at least, I guess you could say. Last season, he was split a lot up and down between 4 different teams. So now that he's fully on Buffalo, this is really the time to start and projecting him for being a good player into the future. And then Zach Dean, of course, is a guy playing in the QMJHL, so hopefully he's able to have a pretty good career in St. Louis. I just wanted to make this video, though, to go over the Vegas Golden Knights and all of the trades that they have made over the years, talking about guys getting sent away. It's been very interesting seeing this team evolve from a prospect's point of view, because they have no prospects, really, aside from Brendan Brisson and a bunch of other guys they've taken in later rounds. It's not like they don't get first-round picks. They get them and they use them, but they always trade the picks away after, or at least a few years after they draft the players with those picks. So you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this trade right here, Barbashev for Dean, as well as the Golden Knights and their tendency to trade away prospects right after getting drafted. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.